What's up everybody, Kinetic here and welcome back to Path of Exile. Yes, I'm finally jumping into the 3.0 update. You might be asking already, what took you so long, Kinetic? Well, honestly, I spent a couple of weeks just looking at a large variety of different builds, trying to come up with ideas of what I wanted to play for this this new league, what new build style maybe I wanted to try to, you know, further kind of expand my build knowledge and stuff like that, and it scrambled my brain looking at so many different options. So I said, screw it, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go do what I actually really wanted to do, and I'm rebuilding the old Firestorm Witch build that I played before. I'm back to rebuild this Necromancer build to something like what the Firestorm was doing without the Firestorm, and instead we're using Raging Spirits. And this is recommended to me many times while I was playing the Firestorm build. People were like, why aren't you using SRS? And I was like, I don't know, because I'm going to use Firestorm for now. And people are like, but SRS is so much better. Well, I kind of agree and disagree with that. Like, certainly the Raging Spirits have their pros, but also their cons. The advantage with Firestorm, for example, was I was able to just like dump huge walls of fire and death on enemies and watch everything melt within seconds. The bad side of that was, well, then I have to recast it every single time, like every 5-10 seconds or something like that, right? Depending on the strength of my enemies, and I have to keep recasting it over and over again. Whereas the Raging Spirits, once I get them going, yeah, they do eventually die, but they seem to last so much longer, and the area that they affect can be so much larger as well, as they just continue to fly around and look for faces to gnaw on. They're really, really cool. So what I've done is I've taken a look at some SRS builds. I have a link to the new one that I'm using as influence to kind of push me around here with this new Necromancer build. But I've taken some creative liberties, certainly, in my own way. As far as like the gearing and the passives go, a large part of that is being filled by this new guide that I'm taking a look at. However, I am taking some creative freedoms here with what gems that I choose that I don't feel are necessary for the whole time that I'm using this build. So, for example, let's just go over the main bulk of it. Right, we have the zombies with, you know, Raging Spirits with the very typical melee physical, melee splash. You've got minion speed, minion damage, and then here there's additional accuracy. Now, of course, we can throw in some other gems here that maybe will change this out from being AoE splash damage to single target and stuff like that. That's why I've got some other gems sitting in my bag. If I'm going up against like a single boss, maybe you know, I don't know, Malachi or whatever, then I could swap out those gems, right? So that's a big part of it, and you may have already noticed that the Covenant, this is one of the recommended items, is equipped. By the way, since I'm rebuilding this old build, yes, that does mean I'm on Standard, and shopping on Standard is very, very interesting. It's a whole new world of pros and cons compared to trying to buy and sell things on the new league, isn't it? Like, for example, when you're buying things on the new league, you get responses very quickly, and you've got people that are like really competing with each other. You've also got pretty significant prices, right? Because it's a new league and there's not as many items for the demand, right? But on Standard, it's less demand and there's more availability for the most part of items, so it's much cheaper. But 75% of the time when I'm trying to contact people for items, I get no response whatsoever. I get completely ignored. And then like maybe another 5% of the time, I will get a response from people, which kind of gives me a gleam into what's going on with that other 75%. And they say, sorry, I'm not playing Standard right now, or I can't be bothered to switch to Standard League or something like that. Basically telling me that yes, they're selling these items on Standard when they feel like it. And so probably all those other people that weren't answering me were just like too busy and couldn't be bothered with switching leagues, right? But when I can get a purchase, I get them for crazy cheap. Like, for example, the Covenant was very cheap. You may have also noticed that I've got the Baron. Now this item, I don't know what it was going for. I heard it was really, really expensive at the start of the Harbinger League. But right now I saw one, actually I think it was yesterday when I looked it up, but it was like 180 chaos, right? on the standard league, you can buy one for as little as 3 chaos. It's awesome if you can get a reply. So I bought mine also really cheap. This is a pretty good one here, and I got it for super cheap. Yeah, it was great. For the gems that I've got up here, pretty standard stuff, I think, for zombies. Nothing very you know, significant here. Physical damage. Maim was an idea from the guide, so I'm trying that out to see, you know, if I like it. Over in the shield, we've got cast when damage taken, immortal call, convocation. Nothing you know, unique about that combination there. And this also, by the way, because of the Baron, right, you're going to see a lot of items with strength on them. Same thing with the passives, a lot of strength activity going on there. I would try to maybe deviate and come up with my own ideas here, but there's really nothing to deviate from. A lot of these items simply need to have strength in order to take advantage of the Baron, right? So for now, this is the shield that I'm using. I've got another unique in my stash that I'm waiting to equip. This is another item that's basically purely for its strength, 70% increased strength. For the gems here, we've got vulnerability, curse on hit support, ball lightning. This is a new combination I've not used before. I can't, what was it? Storm orbs or something like that, I think now is what Pew Pew Pew's build is using, and I don't remember at all what it used to be months ago, but this is a new variation and way of getting vulnerability on enemies. It's actually quite cool. They move a bit slow for my taste, but I do like to use that. This build actually is something that I picked up from the last league. I just looked at it, I was like, okay, well, it's got exactly what I'm looking for a belt right now. Strength and elemental resistances. Until I find a better heavy build, I'll use this. For the gloves, nothing special going on here, just some strength gloves with some resistances. Okay, here's where some of my ideas are now coming in from mixing different builds and experiences that I've had now with Necromancer. This was not in this guy's build, but I decided to put it in here. We got Summon Skeleton with the Spell Totem support. This is actually quite fun. It just, you know, as a pet build, I feel like the more minions you can squeeze in there, the more fun it's going to be, certainly. And there's absolutely nothing wrong, I think, for the most part. Maybe not with every encounter, of course, right? But for the most part, just like going around maps or whatever, this is a really cool combination. You throw this out there, and it's instantly going to start, you know, casting up all these skeletons and getting them whacking on things, and that's going to provide cover for you, a meat shield or bone shield, I guess, in this case, right? And gives me time, you know, hopefully, and a distraction while I'm throwing out my raging spirits. I mean, there's also, in the meanwhile, of course, all of the zombies running around and stuff like that. So they're a great shield and distraction while I charge up all of these raging spirits. Down here we've got Summon Flame Golem and Haste. I'm actually wanting to use Stone Golem, but the gem that I have is too high from my level. I'm going to be getting to that here soon, and then I'll put that in. These two slots are also interchangeable for Hatred and Generosity if I want to do that, depending on the encounter. Jewelry. Let's go over this. The attributes basically for the strength for the rings and resistances, and this is just something that I'm using while I'm waiting again to use a different unique in the meantime. This seemed pretty decent, so I'm using it. The gems I've got, Flash and Flesh Offering, and I think that pretty much well, here's this. There's also the Blood of Karui flask for obvious reasons. Very good flask for this build, and that's the gist of what's going on with the build. And I really wanted to show you guys this because I wanted you to see, well, the fruits of my labor. I've been working on rebuilding this now for close to a week, and like I said, I was spending a couple weeks before that just like looking at all these different builds. And so yeah, what we're gonna do now that we've taken a quick look at the build, you can look at the passives as well if you like, just to get a quick glimpse and, you know, kind of understanding. This actually, when I look at it, reminds me a lot of the Firestorm Witch build in many ways. These giant circles here are from the, what are they called? Efficient Training gems. These are basically just converting intelligence into more strength for me, excuse me. And right now for my Ascendancy, I'm going with Mistress of Sacrifice, and I just unlocked Commander of Darkness. So there's that. Let's run out of here now and go put this build into action. right now, because I'm, you might remember from the last time I was playing this Firestorm, which I had basically over-leveled like crazy, and it was causing me unforeseen complications to my my progression, right? And I'm still kind of suffering with that right now as well. But I'm not doing full clears of areas like I used to, and I'm actually really trying to get through these areas as quickly as possible, so that way, hopefully, sooner rather than later, I'll be able to catch up to an area that is appropriate for my level, and also make things a little bit more challenging, as right now I'm basically just face rolling everything. It doesn't matter like what skill I use, if any at all. Sometimes I don't have to do anything. I just let the zombies do their thing, and within seconds they've taken care of things. But usually I want to do that. I want to throw out my totem, right? Then throw out my vulnerability, and then I'll start charging up some raging spirits. This area is actually really fun to explore. I'm liking this. I do need to keep my eyes open, though, for certain things. Like, I'm here to collect things and to kill a couple of guys, so it kind of does require a little bit. Oh, these nets. Kind of requires a bit of clearing to make sure that I'm getting everything. That looks interesting. What is that? Whoa, hello. Yeah, that... Aha! Okay, yep. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, see, I barely... I barely had to do anything. Just let the skeletons and zombies do their thing. And that's what being a Necromancer is all about. Making others do your dirty work. I love it. Look at him go. Look at all those raging spirits go, man. That's so awesome. Sometimes I love to just, like, try and keep up with them as fast as I can, just to see them in action. They're quite fun to watch. I'm really digging these new areas, especially that it's a snowy kind of environment. There's something about snowy environments that always looks really, really cool. And I like how this looks like a proper, like, city kind of, and residential almost area as well. Very, very cool design. I like it. Man, I'm just tearing through these guys though. This is awesome. I hope this build stays as awesome and powerful later. I have a feeling that it will. I don't think I can go wrong with this build at all. Oh, this should be fun. Let's try this. Oh my god. Essence of Rage. Need to put some essences into to action for me. Maybe get myself a decent belt. That way, instead of using the market so much. Like, I know this is going to stir up some controversy, but I really think that Path of Exile needs to have some kind of auction house. Hear me out. Not in new leagues or hardcore though. I think that there should be an auction house system that exists only in standard. And if you think about it, it's the best of both worlds, right? It gives people access to an auction house for those that really want it, and then it also helps to keep the purity of trading and stuff like that as it exists in new leagues and hardcore and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's a good middle ground, and I would love to see it in action, especially since, like I said, it's extremely difficult to get people to respawn. It feels like in standard, because they'd rather be playing the new league anyway, right? So it would make things a lot more convenient, I think. Ding! Been leveling gems so freaking fast. lately since I rebuilt this character because, well, half of the gems that I put into it for the rebuild are brand new. So it was quite interesting while picking it back up with half of my gems completely brand new. I've had to do a lot of leveling up for gems. And there's my target. Unfortunately, I'm not supposed to kill him, Vorichi said, and he's probably going to die. Oh, wait, we might actually get away with this. Oh, no way, I can't believe it. Actually, because I ran away and avoided attacking him any further, I did just enough damage. That is amazing.
Those that can need not concern.
I thought for sure I was going to fail that. In fact, I meant to just ignore it entirely. Because, I mean, I could totally just, like, take off my my zombie gem, you know, and then just engage him with a little bit of this and that and stuff, you know, to bring him down and to do it safely, but, you know, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it, so I was going to ignore it, but then it just kind of fell into itself quite nicely. Look at him go. Look at him tear everything apart. It's amazing. Absolutely awesome. I do love these Reaching Spirits more and more I play with them. Alright, here we are. And you must be... Yes. I agree with you. Let me join your side, and we will cleanse this land of the impure. But first, I must demonstrate my power, my worthiness to you. And then together, we will rule the galaxy. Except your minions seem quite weak. Perhaps I should be the ruler. Are you now? Let's pop that cherry then. Oh! Come on then. My minions outnumber your minions 2 to 1. At the least. You have no chance, Templar. Come face me. Ooh, that looks bad. Yeah, that looks... Why does it go as fast as I'm moving? Oh my goodness. Okay. Look at all my freaking minions, though. I have such a huge minion count. It is awesome. I don't even have all of... Look at this. Charging up 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 freaking Raging Spirits, 8 zombies, 8 skeletons, and that's not even the max that I can get to. Awesome. Whoa. That was unexpected.
I am Sin, the Forgotten One. Would that humanity could forget all of my kind. Perhaps with your help, that might still come to pass. For now, the blinding light has been dimmed, and darkness floods in to fill the void. The desperate and depraved set a feast for their lord incumbent, Kitava, the Ravenous One. Should Kitava accept their invitation, there is but one thin sliver of hope for us all. My brother's sign of purity. Look to it in the choking passages of Templar reverence. It shall be your torch when night falls at last.
Awesome. I'm digging this, Lord. This is quite cool. All right, guys. Well, that was a bit more than I was anticipating to demonstrate here in this video, but as an introduction to kind of what I'm doing here in 3.0, like I said, I really felt strongly like I wanted to come back and rebuild this Necromancer. I was going to be blamed one way or the other. It was either going to be a brand new one in the new league or rebuilding into a new one sort of here in standard. But yeah, it's going quite well. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to pushing through and getting to a closer level range with the area according to my character, and see just how powerful it's going to be against future bosses and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date on that as it develops. Until then, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Click the like button to support Path of Exile videos here on the channel, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks again for watching. This is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.